Hi-dee ho. Today we have a story from the subreddit cheaters. This is the story about a guy who just keeps finding evidence of his girl cheating and doesn't seem to want to end the relationship. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Here we go. This story is titled, Long Story Manipulative Cheating Girlfriend Don't Know What to Do. Background. I, 29 male, met a girl, 27 female, Shannon, 5 years ago when as I was falling out of a 6-year relationship with a girl who ended up cheating on me. She made my life feel less dark than I felt like it would be again. I love her a lot, but I feel like she's incredibly emotionally immature. Possibly a pathological liar and probably shouldn't be with anyone until she can take a hard look in the mirror and fix herself. She has lied to me more times than I can count, regularly deletes conversations with other guys all the time, and over the last 3 years I grew pretty distant because of this. It got really bad, because I could never talk to her about it. Every time I realized she lied, and had hard proof that it was a lie, I would ask, hey, why'd you lie about this? And every time the response was, just 'cause I lied doesn't mean I fricked him. I'm not a hoe, good to know you think I am. It unfortunately grew to a point where it killed our sex life and romantic life. It's hard to feel or want to feel intimate with someone who's constantly deceiving you. Double standards, etc. Before we lived together, my internet went out for 2 hours one time, so I played Zelda until it came back on and I was barraged with accusations of cheating. Because I didn't respond for 2 hours, she assumed I was sleeping with another girl. I've only ever dated and slept with 2 people, her being the second. I never have or would do that behind someone's back. However, she a few days later went out drinking with her girlfriend, and they ended up going to do coke with 2 dudes at their house until 9 a.m. the next morning. And there was a 6-hour period where she wasn't responding to me at all. When we started dating, before we lived together, Shannon helped me financially for a period of time because I had lost my job and had to move back home for a while. I'm not proud of this, but I really respected and appreciated her for offering to help, and it made me feel like she really cared about me. She'd help me with groceries among other things. She even got hotels for us fairly regularly so we could have nice getaways because neither of us had a private space to fool around really. However, a few months after this period, I moved back out of my parents', got a full-time job, and she moved in. For 2 years I worked full-time, paid the entire hydro and internet bill, bought the majority of the groceries, and covered the rent she was short for every month. Literally every month she failed to have rent ready and I would have to cover $90 to $150. I never cared and I never asked for it back. I was happy to be able to provide back for her because she had helped me. On top of that, I've chosen to spend thousands of dollars on her to try to make her feel appreciated. She regularly brings up that she helped me before, acting as if I owe her hundreds of dollars, and she just acts like I didn't pay for everything for both of us for literally 2 years. Whenever I explain this, it's petty and crappy of you to talk about money. But when she wants to bring up when she helped me, you're useless and I paid for your stuff. These are the type of double standard I deal with on a regular basis. Throughout our 4-year relationship, there was only one time that I ever had a female coworker make a pass at me. She had gotten drunk and messaged me saying she had a crush on me. I immediately said, hey, I'm in a relationship and you know that. I need you to respect that. I was verbally crucified for this by Shannon, and still to this day whenever that coworker comes into conversation, I'm a bad boyfriend because that happened, even though I stood my ground and defended our relationship immediately. Sketchy stuff. About a year ago I walked Shannon to work and she told me she was going to get a beer with a female coworker after work. Jan. She came home at 3 a.m., stumbled into the door blackout drunk. She was so messed up that I thought she got roofied. She tried to pull her pants off and pee in her computer chair, so I helped her to the bathroom. I panicked hard when she was in there, so I messaged her friend she said she went out with on Facebook to ask if it's possible she got drugged. Her response: oh, I didn't go out with her tonight. Sam and Corey went, but I don't think either of them would do something like that. My heart sank in my chest and I wanted to die. I made her a sandwich and got her a bottle of water. As mad as I was, her health, safety was priority at the time. I looked at her phone and there was a text from a non-contact number that said, hey sexy. When she came back from the bathroom I asked her again who she went with and she said Jan. I didn't argue about it until the following day. I slept on the couch and she didn't know why I was mad. Caught her cheating. Last August, I realized she was texting this guy all the time. We'll call him Graham. I asked her if it was anything to worry about. Her response was, he's just my friend. I've known him longer than I've known you. I'm not cheating on you with someone from America. We're from Canada. It seemed absurd, but she's known this guy forever. Why is she texting and talking to him all the time now after 4 years of us being together when she never has before? Towards the end of the month, I snooped on her computer and she had left her Discord logged in. She was asking one of his friends, "Is Graham a virgin?" I tried asking him questions so I could send nudes and he froze up. Turns out she had been telling all her online friends and coworkers that we broke up and she's been single for 4 months. I snapped and messaged the guy, told and showed him everything, that we were together the whole time. He was a chill dude about it, apologized and said he never would have talked to her that way if he knew the truth. She'd been sending this guy lewds and talking to him about how she can't wait for COVID to end so she can cross the border to go to his house. I texted her that I knew and asked why. She was at work. Her only response was, "I don't know, I'm freaked in the head." I'm sorry. She came home, packed her shite and got her dad and brother to help her move out. It felt unreal. When the anger started to subside after a few days, all that was left was a gaping hole in my heart where she used to be, and beyond all the hurt, I missed her. Aftermath. I spent a great deal of time writing a letter to give her, explaining how I was feeling. She did the same. I didn't know. We met by the lake a few days later and exchanged them. We ended up agreeing to try to fix things. I told her up front that we couldn't possibly ever work if she stays friends or anything with Graham. She agreed and told me she'd explain shite to him and cut him out of her life. She didn't. Every time I brought it up, she threatened to leave. About a month later, she called me to tell me, "I have no feelings for you, we're done." As soon as she hung up, she called Graham to ask him to take her back. He told her, "No, what you did was freaked up and I can't trust you. If you want to be my friend and try to rebuild trust, that's fine, but I'm going to date other people in the meantime." She called me back to cry. In the next couple days, I'd been on Tinder trying meet new people and move on. I met one girl who seemed okay. She was a few years younger than me. Really pretty, a gamer girl. I ended up talking to Shannon again and she asked if I was DTF. We ended up going for dinner, going back to my place and having the most romantic and passionate night we've had in a very long time. She had me hooked again. I got off Tinder and haven't talked to anyone else since. Current issues. It's been half a year since then. Every time I think things are better and she's changing, something sketchy as hell happens. Part of the agreements of seeing each other again were Graham is out of her life, no more lying at all, no more hiding, deleting conversations with dudes. In early December, I discovered she'd been lying to her online friends about us being together again. We had a big fight and she ended up telling him she was lying and left that friend group. Now in January, a few days after my birthday, I looked at her phone and realized one of her contacts' entire text history was erased. I asked her about it and she said, "I called him to ask him to bring my meds when he got off work. He said yeah, and I deleted it because I didn't want you to freak out over nothing." This has turned into a huge fight. I don't care that she asked a coworker to bring her medicine that she forgot at work. I never would have. I'm exclusively angry that she deleted it to hide it from me, because it looks identical to how things were when she did cheat. It's not fair. Thoughts. I learned from my brief time on Tinder that I could be with someone younger, more attractive, and who hasn't done all these crappy things to me in like 5 minutes, but I don't want to. I keep on convincing myself that she's just broken, and that you don't give up on people you love, and maybe I can hold her hand and help her through dealing with whatever issues are causing all this. It's hard to sleep at night thinking the only reason she's with me is because Graham put his foot down and refused to talk to her romantically anymore because of all the crappy things she did. When she's not doing all these terrible things, I really do love her a lot. I don't want it to be over. I want a future and family with her one day, but that can't ever happen if she doesn't actually change. If you've read this far, thank you for listening. I'm fairly certain I know the answer, but what would you do? What are your thoughts on the situation? I've offered to pay for couples counseling and her response was, "As soon as they tell me I'm wrong, I'll hate them and not want to go anymore." I apologize for how long this is. I had a lot to get off my chest and don't feel comfortable venting about this stuff to my friends or family because, to be frank, it's embarrassing. I have no intention to paint her as a monster. The truth is, when things like this aren't happening, she makes me really happy. But I can't live like this anymore. Note: all names etc. have been changed from the real names. Comment 1. My ex did the same, the lying, the hiding, everything. He was cheating every time. I stayed for 14 years out of comfort, love, faith that I one day would be enough. He finally broke it off, saying he would never change. He's freaked in the head. My advice: break up now, because if you don't, the mental damage outweighs the love. I'm in therapy and I have cried so much. I have lost the majority of my passion. It's taking a very long time to bounce back at all. Comment 2. Bro, get out. You are being emotionally abused. You are a very generous person and there are millions of people out there who would treat you proper. You deserve, and will have better. You just have to move on from that terrible person. Comment 3. You don't know what to do. I will tell you what to do then, and it's leave. Do not continue going down this path. You will be the one who ends up harmed and paying the price. Pick your dignity up from off the floor, walk away, block her number and never contact her again. This girl is dangerous. Comment 4. Bro, I've got to say you are very, how can I say it, you are someone with unconditional forgiveness. Even I, who usually forgives people every time, wouldn't have stayed in that relationship. So, my advice would be that even if you are hooked up, just get away a little so that if something happens, hope not, you won't get hurt that much. So good luck, you need it. Thank you so very much for listening. Please check out my other videos and like and subscribe.